I was talking to a friend recently. She's one of the most impressive people I know. Successful career, very healthy, great relationships. By any measure, she's doing great. And I was telling her what I was excited about for the next few years, where I plan to live, what I'm building, things that I'm working on. And I was really lit up talking about it. When I asked her the same question, she said, I really like where I'm living. I'm not planning any big work changes. She said, I'm really hoping the kids move closer, but not so sure about that. Laughed and said she was hoping for grandchildren, but that's not likely. I love her for that. She's happy, things are good. I started thinking she's a blank canvas. She could do anything she could dream up. And when I listened to what she's excited about, almost none of it was in her control. The kids are doing or what's going on in the world. I see that a lot with people who've done really well in life. When you really don't have something genuinely amazing on the horizon for yourself, everything else fills that space. Other people's choices feel heavier, stuff you can't control feels more urgent. I've worked with founders and executives and people who've really hit every goal for themselves. This is really one of the most consistent things I see. The external success and the internal aliveness really aren't the same thing. You can have the career, the health, the relationships, and all the financial security and still feel like something's off. It's not a lack of gratitude. It's not a personality flaw, but it's biology telling you something. Because your nervous system is designed to grow. It's not comfortable with stagnation, and it registers that as danger. So what actually changes? It's not motivation or a new habit or doing a gratitude list, but it's the future you're imagining. Is it actually yours? I'm going to walk through three things in this video. First, why the life available to you is almost certainly bigger than the one you're currently imagining. Second, what it looks like when someone actually builds towards something real. And third, how to get it all moving. Stay with me, because the third one is where people really get stuck. I know people who have done well, who are in a comfortable spot, at some point they stop. Personal ambitions get quieter, the hopes for other people, kids, grandkids, the partner, but those aren't yours to control. And your nervous system knows the difference. When your future is built around things that you can influence, your brain has something to work with, a direction, a target. That's what aliveness actually feels like. When your future is built around what other people are doing, then your brain goes into a different mode, waiting, watching, but it's kind of like a low hum, a danger detector. My friend has a blank canvas, and when I think she sat down and actually asked herself, what would the next 5 years really look like if she could do whatever she wanted, the answer would surprise her. Not because she needs more ambition, but because she hasn't really asked that question in a while. Jane Goodall is a great example of this. She started her research in Tanzania in the 60s, studying chimps. You've probably seen her on the documentaries. She was 26 years old, and the things that she discovered really reshaped how we understand primates, how we understand intelligence, the line between humans and other species in general. But she didn't stop. She didn't wind down and start waiting for life to visit her. On October 1st, 2025, she passed away peacefully in her sleep. She was 91 years old, not in a hospital or assisted living. She was in her hotel room in Pasadena. She was going to speak to 1,000 students the next morning. She really went the distance. Even that last couple of years, she was traveling nearly 300 days a year. She just loved what she was doing. And that's what happens when you stay connected to something you love. You don't run out. You don't fade. You go the whole way. And that's available to you too. When you don't have that internal focal point, the external signal gets louder. Your relationships, situations, the challenges, they take over. And what's actually happening at the level of your nervous system is that the people in your life are like a mirror. Through how they treat you, what they say, what they do, how they react, it's like a reflection. And if the reflection doesn't match how you see yourself, your body responds. The tension, discomfort, sometimes a real threat response. And because your biology reads social conflict as danger. So what do most people do? They start getting wrapped up in how other people are treating them. Over time, the life they're living is not theirs. It's a negotiation between who they actually are and how everybody around them behaves. The fix isn't to stop caring what people think. The fix is to really know yourself clearly and have something you're really excited about in your life, and those mirrors dissolve. When you have a real direction, a vision that's yours, the feedback from other people gets sorted differently. It stops feeling important. It starts feeling like information. Some of it useful, some of it noise. If someone told you they hate your purple antlers, it probably wouldn't bother you much because you know you don't have purple antlers. The relationships that are quietly draining you, you start to see them clearly. Not like with resentment, but just clarity. Some people energize you, some don't. You get to choose. There's 8 billion people. You don't owe anyone a front row seat to your life. Now you might be thinking, I don't really know what the vision is. Good. It's an honest answer, and it's actually the right starting point. This is how I work through this with people. Stop asking what's realistic. You can even try a couple versions. In design thinking, it's considered optimal to come up with 3 different versions of how you'd want to design your life. Maybe a realistic version of improvement, of a transformation, something that's super ambitious, and then maybe one that's way out in left field, something you would never do, or maybe you only dream about. And from those 3 different ideas, you'd come up with something you never would have thought of. That's the version of the next 3 to 5 years that you'd look back and say, that was the best chapter of my life. It does take a little time. It's like a ceremony, right? You get to say, I'm gonna brainstorm, I'm gonna get creative. You can use some ChatGPT, and instead of looking outward, we're gonna look inward. About all those people, all those things, we gotta put you first. Your life quality score doesn't go up on its own. It goes up when you have a direction that's yours, that you're excited about. When your health, your relationships, and your resources are all pointed to something that means something exciting to you, that's when the noise from other people stops running the show. Now, I have a free life quality score assessment that you can use to get a baseline of where your life's at right now. There'll be a link in the description. So if you've done well in life, you haven't really got the next chapter defined, then other people's stuff and what's going on in the world can become a lot louder than they need to be. When you don't have something amazing on the horizon, everything else feels a little more critical. Jane Goodall went the distance because she never stopped moving towards something. And building that direction, a real one that's yours, is the thing that determines whether your life feels like yours. You're much better than you think. And the question is whether you're building towards something you love. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, but most of all, I hope to see you in the next video. Remember, you're a gift. Stay present.